There comes a moment in every person's life when the silence becomes deafening, when the noise of the world fades and you're left face to face with one haunting question. Who am I becoming? Not what your resume says, not what your parents wanted, not what society shaped, but what you believe, quietly, privately, deep inside, when no one is watching. You see, you don't become what you dream. You don't become what you say. You become what you believe. And belief is the blueprint of your destiny. You could be born into chaos, raised in poverty, surrounded by doubt. But if the blueprint in your mind is carved with conviction, with clarity, with unshakable belief, then it doesn't matter where you started, because it's not where you're from, it's what you build. Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin with no formal education. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Henry Ford went bankrupt 5 times. But they didn't carry their circumstances as anchors. They carried belief like a sword. They didn't ask, "What can the world give me?" They declared, "This is what I will create." Belief is not passive. It's not something you whisper during meditation and hope the universe hears. Belief is war. Belief is the battle between who you are and who you could be. And most people lose that war, not because they're weak, but because they surrendered their imagination to fear. Robert Kiyosaki once said, "The most life-destroying word of all is the word tomorrow, because tomorrow is where dreams go to die. Tomorrow is where the poor mind hides from risk. The rich mind, it moves today because it believes it has the right to. And that belief, that is the foundation. But foundations only matter if you build on them. Most people walk through life like unpaid actors in someone else's script. They follow the path handed to them, get good grades, get a safe job, retire at 65, and maybe taste freedom in the last few years of life. That's not a plan, that's a prison. And the key to that prison is belief. You see, belief isn't just mindset, it's architecture. It designs your financial life, your relationships, your health, your time. If you believe you were born to struggle, then you'll attract struggle. If you believe you're a builder, a creator, an owner, then you'll start to see tools where others see limits. You'll see opportunity where others see walls. Kiyosaki didn't just write about money, he wrote about power. The power to choose assets over liabilities. The power to think differently, to escape the rat race, not with luck, but with logic, discipline, and the courage to be misunderstood. Because the moment you start to build wealth, to think independently, the world will resist you. Your friends will doubt you. Your family may not understand you. They'll say, "That's risky." But you know what's risky? Living your whole life afraid to live. Clarity is a weapon, and belief sharpens it. When you believe in something with enough fire, clarity emerges. You no longer wander in circles. You move with direction, and clarity cuts through noise. It slices through fear. It lets you say no to distraction so you can say yes to destiny. You must see yourself as you could be, not just as you are. Vision is not daydreaming. It's blueprinting. It's the process of shaping tomorrow with the bricks of today. And the clearer your vision, the stronger your belief. Because when your mind has tasted the future, your soul refuses to settle. Every empire begins in the shadows. No crowd, no cheer, no applause. Just one person staring into the dark, whispering, "I believe." And that belief becomes discipline. Because belief without action is a lie. Discipline is how you prove your belief is real. You can tell me your dreams, you can write your goals, but your habits are the true reflection of your belief. You get up early not because it's popular, but because your vision demands it. You study when others sleep, invest when others spend, build when others complain, because you're not chasing motivation. You're answering purpose. And purpose is fire. It's the kind of fire that doesn't just warm you, it burns away your excuses. It melts your fear. It consumes every "I can't" until all that's left is "I must." When Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times to invent the light bulb, he didn't say, "I failed." He said, "I found 1,000 ways that didn't work." That's the language of belief. That's the vocabulary of champions. But belief is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up every day and casting another vote for the person you want to become. And yes, you will fall. Yes, you will doubt. But belief says, I get back up again and again and again. Resilience is what separates the poor mind from the rich one. It's not about having money in your pocket. It's about having wealth in your spirit. Because the man who loses money but keeps belief, he's not poor, he's preparing. But the man who wins the lottery with no belief, he's bankrupt the moment the applause fades. Belief is not something you inherit. It's something you build. Day by day, choice by choice. You feed it with learning, challenge, and action. Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is. And Kiyosaki knew this. That's why he said, if you want to be rich, you need to develop your financial IQ. Not just academic knowledge, not just diplomas, but functional wisdom, the kind that teaches you how to make money work for you instead of trading your time for it forever. That's the belief of ownership, the belief that says, I was not born to serve money. Money was born to serve me. And when you believe that, you stop chasing paychecks. You start building assets, real estate, stocks, businesses, ideas. You shift from consumer to creator. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. Alignment with your future self, the version of you that already exists, waiting for you to stop doubting and start building. But even belief must evolve, because the world will change. Technology will shift. Markets will crash. People will betray you. Plans will fall apart. That's why adaptability is not optional. It's essential. If belief is your compass, adaptability is your sails. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your course. Kiyosaki didn't become who he is by holding on to rigid ideas. He pivoted. He failed. He learned. He kept moving forward. Because belief is not stubbornness. It's commitment to the outcome, not the method. You may have to let go of the plan, but never let go of the purpose. And in the midst of chaos, don't forget gratitude. Gratitude is not weakness. It's not blind positivity. It's the acknowledgement of growth. It's the moment you look back and say, thank you for the struggle, because it made me strong. Belief grows in that soil, not in comfort, but in the grit of challenge. Not in applause, but in the quiet fight for self-respect. And when you believe deeply enough, you no longer need external validation, because you understand now, you don't become what they say. You don't become what you fear. You don't become what the system expects. You become what you believe. And that belief, it's not just an idea. It's a revolution. It's the seed of every empire, the root of every fortune, the origin of every legacy. If you can believe without seeing, if you can act without approval, if you can persist without applause, then there is nothing you cannot build. The world doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the believers. And belief is not magic. Belief is power. The world doesn't hand success to those who want it. It hands success to those who expect it. Those who've already claimed it in their spirit long before they see it with their eyes. Because belief isn't passive. It's not just sitting in meditation and hoping the universe hears your thoughts. It's getting up every single day, even when you're tired, even when you're scared, and doing what others refuse to do. Belief is sweat. It's discipline. It's sacrifice. It's saying no to the short term so you can say yes to the life that's calling you. You don't rise to the level of your potential. You fall to the level of your standards. And your standards are nothing but a reflection of what you believe you deserve. If you believe you were born to survive, you'll scrape by. But if you believe you were born to thrive, not by luck, not by privilege, but by right, then you will demand more from yourself. You will move like a king before you have a crown. You will speak like a leader before anyone is listening. You will walk into rooms and shift the air, not because you're arrogant, but because your belief is unshakable. Look at Edison. The man failed over 10,000 times before he gave the world the light bulb. They laughed at him, they doubted him, but he didn't care. Because his belief was stronger than their ridicule. His belief outlasted their ignorance, and so must yours. The people who change history, the Musks, the Disneys, the Oprahs, the Fords, the Carnegies. They don't wait for the world to believe in them. They believe in themselves so powerfully that the world has no choice but to catch up. But you can't fake it. You can't just slap affirmations over insecurity. You've got to do the work. The belief must be built like a fortress, one disciplined brick at a time. You become what you believe, but belief grows in the soil of daily action. The mind is a wild beast. If you don't tame it, it will destroy you. If you don't command it, it will believe every lie it's told. That you're too late, too old, too small, too broke, too damaged. But none of that is truth. That's just rust on your soul, and rust can be cleaned. You clean it by reading, by learning, by surrounding yourself with voices that lift you higher. You clean it by refusing to be average, refusing to let your past write your future, refusing to let the world shrink your dreams into something digestible. You clean it with vision. Vision is the lens through which belief gains clarity. Without vision, belief is blurry. It's hopeful but aimless. But with vision, belief becomes a weapon. It becomes your compass, your North Star. You know exactly where you're going, even if no one else sees the path. So many people are busy being busy, hustling, grinding, waking up early, working late. But without vision, all that effort is just motion without meaning. Purpose is the engine. Vision is the map. Belief is the fuel. So ask yourself, what do you see when you close your eyes? Not what your circumstances show you, not what your bank account tells you. What does your spirit see? Because that vision, that's the blueprint. That's where your future begins. But vision without discipline is like fire without oxygen. It burns hot for a moment, then dies in the wind. Discipline is what builds the bridge between belief and reality. It's what separates dreamers from doers, talkers from builders, dabblers from dominators. Discipline isn't sexy. It's not the viral moment. It's not the standing ovation. It's the 5 a.m. alarm when your body wants to sleep. It's doing the reps when no one's watching. It's saying no to comfort, yes to consistency. And the truth? You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your routines. So build routines that match the person you want to become, not the person you used to be. Because every day you show up with discipline, you reinforce the belief that you are worthy. Every rep, every decision, every sacrifice, it's casting a vote for the person you are becoming. And here's what most people forget. Belief is not a switch. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, it must be trained. That means facing failure. That means getting humbled. That means being okay with looking stupid, with starting small, with falling flat, because you understand this isn't the finish line. This is the forge, and fire always comes before form. You don't ask the universe for strength and get handed ease. You get handed pressure, struggle, weight. That's the gift, because the struggle is the sculptor. The pressure is the path. Every storm is shaping the spine you need to carry your purpose. Lincoln lost election after election before he became one of the greatest presidents in history. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Colonel Sanders heard no over 1,000 times before someone believed in his chicken. Their belief was greater than their setbacks. So the next time life hits you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this building in me? Because belief without resilience is fantasy, but belief backed by grit, that's destiny. You will be misunderstood. You will be doubted. You will be mocked, ghosted, betrayed, rejected, expected. But never let it infect your belief, because once belief becomes your identity, not even failure can stop you. Let others chase likes. You chase legacy. Let others talk about what they could be. You become it. Let others watch the clock. You own your time. And let others bow to circumstance, while you bend reality to your belief. You are not a product of your environment. You are the architect of your life. You are not here to fit in. You are here to build, to break limits, to bend possibility. You are not meant to live a life of reaction. You are here to create. But creation only happens when belief is stronger than fear. When you stop waiting for permission. When you stop asking the world to validate what your soul already knows. There is a fire inside you, and belief is the oxygen. So feed it. Fan the flames with action, with courage, with clarity. with consistency, with gratitude. And never forget this. You become what you believe. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more followers or money or attention. You need to believe with so much conviction, so much clarity, that the world starts to bend around your belief. Because belief, true belief, is the most powerful force on this earth. And it is waiting. Not in the sky, not in your circumstances, but deep within you, right now, burning, ready, unleash it.